Well, howdy everybody, Jughead here, and I am finally getting around to finishing this video. And you know, sometimes when you procrastinate, good things happen, because today we are actually at the home of Sport Aircraft Seats. I'm sitting here in Daniel's hangar. We've just toured the big hangar, or the factory, where the wonderful products, the great upholstery, the seating, the interiors are made, and it is so cool to see the process. I've seen their videos that describe it. I've sat on their seats, as everybody knows, in a lot of airplanes over the years, and I've always loved their product. And now I finally have it in 97 Bravo, and you're going to get to see how I go through the entire process. As a layman, someone who's never done it before, I completely rebuild and recondition my seat frame, and then put on the new Sport Aircraft Seat upholstery kits, and I couldn't be happier. I think you're gonna hopefully learn something from this video and be entertained as well. And the thing is, I've been working with Daniel for about 5 or 6 years, kind of unofficially, with a handshake agreement. I was loving their product. I was talking to people while I was narrating STOL competitions, whether it was with National STOL Series at Oshkosh and the Fun Fly Zone. And coming up next month, I will be at Sun and Fun in Florida, proudly wearing the Sport Aircraft Seats, representing the great men and women up here in Alaska, as we have another great STOL event, compliments of Dennis Dunbar and the Sun and Fun folks. But you can trust what Daniel says. We have been doing business for 4 or 5 years now on just a handshake, conversation over the phone, and it has worked really well. He's a true gentleman. I love their product. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and we're going to finally get this wrapped up, hung out there on YouTube for everybody to enjoy. Well, good morning, everybody. Jughead here, and there's Dakota. And there's the heater. It's a chilly morning here in Snohomish. We're down in the mid to upper 20s, and I'm excited. We have finally made the decision. We're going to do a little upgrade on 4497 Bravo. This airplane has been great. I bought it almost 13 years ago. The upholstery has been in it for 25, 30 years. And when I bought it, the seats weren't bad. They look good, and they still look good. They're missing some upholstery trim buttons, but the cushions are starting to get broke down here along the front. You can especially see it on the pilot seat. The seat belt straps obviously are totally torn out, which is not uncommon. The seat back is completely broke up, and it's starting to look terrible, catch on things. And so it's obviously time for some seat upgrade. You've heard me say it before, Sport Aircraft Seats out of Alaska have absolutely the best product out there. I have flown on many of Daniel's seats, and when I'm ferrying new airplanes or highly restored airplanes or reconditioned, I almost just expect that there's going to be Sport Aircraft Seats in all the airplanes, and that's almost true. And every time you get in one, they're comfortable for the long haul, they're durable with some great designs. So I finally, after all these years, have given Daniel a call, and I've got a set of seats that are here. They are down in the box. I have not even opened them up yet. That's going to be part of the fun here. We're going to take out the co-pilot seat in 97 Bravo. We're going to tear it down. I'm going to put new hardware, seat rails. I think I'm going to look at 2 different sets of seat rollers. McFarland has one. There's a company here in Enumclaw, Washington. I think the name is Aero Products. Don't get me wrong. I'll make sure I have that right a little bit later. I think I'm going to get a set of seat rollers from each and kind of do a comparison for you guys to learn from and me to learn from. We're going to clean up the frames and then throw on that wonderful upholstery from Sport Aircraft Seats. So we'll work over this for the next hopefully week and a half, have it done, and let you know, and then we'll start on the pilot side. Well, here's a close-up look. All right, seatbelt holders torn out. Passenger seat's not too bad. But we'll start looking underneath here. What do we got? We got springs that are no longer in place. The finish on the frame structure is down. Definitely old, worn rollers. They all move, but even with occasional lubrication, this whole seat could just use a little bit of tender love and care. Come up with a new handle here. Nice thing about like 3D printing stuff, we can knock that out. The back of this seat, not as bad, but it's been melted, it's been broke. Obviously don't need ashtrays anymore, so I'll be glad to get rid of all this. Look of a very impatient and bored dog. Well, we got a good portion done. Of course, there's just no fun, easy way to sandblast stuff unless you got a truly professional setup. So my cabinet, I'm not done modifying. We used the tank, we used the gun. We were inside, we were outside. I'm surprised. I really thought inside it was going to be more of a mess. I mean, we can look over here on the box and the table, and there's really no significant dust over here. Just a little bit on the chair that was right next to us. The tarp has collected stuff nicely. A little bit on the doors we got to get. The fan system seemed to work out well just to keep the minimal dust, and then a little bit here on the floors that we'll have to clean up. But overall, not bad. I've got the part of the seat bottom done, the accessory pieces, latches done. We're almost done with the seat back, and I've started on the main part of the seat bottom right here. And I'm gonna try to get this up and running in the next maybe 24 hours, and let me tackle that in here and see if I like the progress better. So overall, not bad. It if you're just doing just a seat, putting sport aircraft seat cushions on, obviously all of this extra effort is not something that required, but you saw what my seat bottoms looked like. They needed to be redone, and whatever they painted them with, the gray was terrible as far as sticking and adhesion. The red, I would call it a primer, was very good adhesion, and so we're working our way through there. And somewhere I've got my spare third seat. I think it's up above in the attic. I probably need to get that pulled out, thrown in the seat so I can take some people flying with me while I'm getting this done. Yep, there it is, right up there. So it'll slide in and roll in. Alright, here are our seat bottoms all reconditioned and they are ready to go back together. Got to pick up just a little bit of hardware and peel the paint off this. I'll do a trim custom paint on that handle. But I was happy how these turned out after getting media blasted them and then used a two-part paint on them from a local auto supply for body shops. So good high quality paint. I think they will hold up well. They look good. Here's the joy of putting in some long hours at the hangar, enjoying a beautiful sunset. Well, good morning everybody. Jughead here, and we are on to the next phase of our seat upgrades. And depending on how you look at it, I'm about a month into the process because I've just been working on it part-time. But here is the box from Sport Aircraft Seats. It's been in my hangar for about 2 months now. I have not even opened it. So we're going to open it. Where are we in the process? Well, like I said, I'm thankful I have a spare seat. So I've been flying an original spare seat in the right side of the airplane. I was in it all week, giving my nephew tail wheel transition check out. Here are the reconditioned seat frames, ready to go back together. More on those later. But let's go open the box and see what these great Sport Aircraft seats look like coming out of the box. Because as you see, it's not the best day to fly. We do have a guy, he's out here in the pattern in his Aero, been trying to do an engine out from the downwind, and he flies his downwind so wide that he's failed to make the runway in 4 attempts. Note to everybody out there that can't fly a pattern anymore to actually make the runway. But I digress. Alright. Don't use a blade to open. Well, my fingernail's not sharp enough, so I'm probably going to have to use some sort of blade. Open even using a blade. And here is what we have. Let's not be spilling my coffee. Straight out of Alaska. Nice and wrapped up, well protected. Down here on the side, we've got some of the accessory bags that clip on. These are super handy for stowing, whether it's paperwork, survival gear, spots, in ranges, PLBs. Thank you, Daniel, for these. And here are the seats. Woo! All wrapped up pretty. I feel like the millennial farmer here trying to do all this one-handed. Oh, and look at that. That is gorgeous. And ready? Without planning. That blue's going to look good in 9.7 Bravo. And the gray is too. So that's one bottom. Here's all the paperwork, the burn test, the other bottom, top. Woo! Can't wait to sit on these. and the webbing. All righty. Woo. Here we go. Can't wait. What do you think, Dakota? You think these seats are going to be pretty comfortable? You going to like sitting on them? I think so. Nice lumbar built into them. Oh yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed part one where we completely stripped down and reconditioned these seats. You can obviously tell it's a big improvement. They're going to look great in the airplane. Tune in next week when part two gets released. We put the sport aircraft seats upholstery on and get this product and project finished and get 97 Bravo back in the air with some good air. Coming from Sport Aircraft Seats Home in Wolf Lake, Alaska, Jughead's out.